Hey, so I recently did this session with a woman named Magenta, and I really felt inspired to share this with you because it was magical. Magenta came feeling blocked with confidence issues. She had a business that her heart really wanted to start, but her mind was stopping her from it. And in this session, we unearthed the actual thing that was blocking her and the incredible value of what she was actually creating, which was a retreat in the South Polynesian Islands to bring people to swim with whales in the Tonga Islands of the South Pacific. And this entire time, she thought she had this small little project, but it was actually so beautiful, way more beautiful than her mind actually had led her to believe. And because she couldn't see the value in what she was creating, she was downplaying herself and was afraid to charge money for it. And I just felt compelled to share this because if you struggle with similar issues where you have a dream, a vision, and your mind is just blocking you from doing it, and you don't really see the value in it, I think you will get a lot of value from this session. So thanks so much for watching and enjoy the experience. What's up, Magenta? How are you? So here we are. What are we talking about? What's going on?
Um, well, I guess we're talking about my me. It's all about me. I don't know. We're talking about stepping into your power and confidence, and launching a business and putting yourself out there to the world in integrity, and love. Um, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm trying to relaunch a business. It's kind of a high ticket item business, and I really struggle with that. Um,
Mm, perfect.
yeah.
Nice. I can definitely help. So yeah, thanks for coming on. I just felt inspired to offer this, and we haven't done like a Star Trek event forever, but this just spoke to me, and so I just wanted, yeah, to just to share, see if I can help you.
Amazing. I mean, I kind of couldn't believe it. My husband's like teasing me, like, "Are you going to be too starstruck to do this call?" We've been following everything you have done for so long, and we're both really big fans
Oh,
of. We've been following you from the MMS days.
yeah, I've done a lot of crazy, wild things.
Yeah.
Um, but these days, yeah, I'm kind of like specializing in helping people who are doing light worker kind of stuff and to do this to step into their full power and transmute their blockages, because as you found, you want to rise up to your power and do great stuff on the planet. And it's like all these things come up in your way, like, oh, I'm not enough, or the money thing, or like, what do I say? How do I say it? Like all that stuff. And they're really massive blockages that really either cripple you or they'll make you.
Yeah.
So it sounds like, feels like you're in that. All
I'm
right.
right on the precipice.
So yeah, just talk to me. Talk to me. So there's a high ticket offer that you want to create?
Yeah, so my business is have we lost this? Do I need to wait if we lost this other guy
No, it's okay.
on the
Nick has chronic camera issues. It's just
okay.
his thing right now.
Okay. Okay. Okay, so my business is swimming with whales
Wow.
in the Pacific Islands. So I've done it for many years, but I've always worked for someone else and doing it. And the person that I worked for many years was just quite a really toxic sort of person to work for, to sum up really quickly and put it simply. So I really had to leave, and it was really hard because obviously I was so passionate about the work, but I needed to remove myself from working underneath that person. And I knew it was time for me to be brave and step into my power and do it myself. I mean, I can do it. I've done. So I tried, but I tried, and then COVID hit. So I had sort of set all the foundations, and I paid deposits to run these tours, and then COVID hit and the world shut down, and it all stopped. But even before that, I wasn't selling tours. There was some huge blockage, and I was like getting so tense about it, like it just wasn't moving. wasn't flowing. And then, so actually when COVID happened, it was kind of a blessing for me, because I was like, the business wasn't working anyway. And but the whole experience kind of, I guess, yeah, shattered my confidence, and I just dropped everything since 2020. And then I had a baby anyway, and life just changed course. And but I can't now. It's like it's calling me so deeply, and so much. Like, I need to be back in the water, and I need to be back with the whales, and I need to do this. But I'm just, yeah, I'm just scared, and coming up, and I know that I know that it wouldn't have been working last time, because I wasn't, the energy wasn't right. I wasn't in the right energy to do it, to bring it in. You know, I think I was coming at it from a place of almost desperation, and I was also just trying to, it's hard to explain, but I just knew, okay, if you're going to do this, you have to do it the Magenta way, from your heart, in alignment with who you are, and it has, and it will be easy. If it's supposed to happen, it'll flow, you know, and it'll the people will come. The people with the resources to pay, you know, they can pay for it. They will come, and yeah, I don't know if that makes sense.
Totally makes sense. Yeah, I can feel the energy. You have a beautiful energy, by the way. It's just like this is bringing up that shrinking little me that's like, no, I don't want to be seen. What if they judge me? Yeah. So what's going on? So like, are you basically just totally stuck? Like energetically, we're just thinking about it. We're like, or are you like putting some stuff together? You said you built the foundation. Like, do you have like a website? And
yeah, I had a website, and I let it lapse. I realized too that I can do it. If I'm going to do it, I can do it much more simply. I was so fixed on last time that I had to have like the perfect website, and I had to have everything had to be so perfect. And then I realized, like, you don't even really need websites these days, right? Like, I can just, people will come to me through social media, but that's a blockage. Putting myself out on social media makes me feel really uncomfortable. So I get stuck in that as well, of like, well, you know, you're going to have to do that. People are going to want to know who you are if they're going to spend a lot of money with you. So where I'm at the moment too is I don't even have the money to start it up, because you have to have the money to start up you know, you have to pay for your deposits and your accommodation in advance, obviously. So it's like any business, you need a little bit of capital to get it going. So I'm on a women of prayer right now of if I put the package together and I put it out there and people want to come, they pay their deposits, then I pay my deposits, and we go. Like, and I need 7 people. It's not that much. Like, I need 7 people to go, yeah, we're in.
Right. And that's just going to pay for the boat and
to pay for the boat, to pay for accommodation. So I put together, it's an all-inclusive package.
Yeah.
So, you'd book with me, and apart from your flights, everything else is organized. So you fly in, I meet you there, your accommodation is sorted, all your meals are sorted, and every day I take you out on a boat and we swim with whales. And so it's you know, it's
yeah, it's simple. Like, you don't need the money, because like I started doing retreats in Mexico. 2020, I was running around, like I was one of the stupid crazy people flying during that time, and flying people from all over the world to Mexico to like host buffer retreats, psychedelic toad retreats during like all that craziness. It was wild. And I didn't have a penny. Like, I mean, I had some money, but we just sold the thing. Like, this is it. Like, you either sign up and we'll find a retreat center. Like, trust me, we'll figure it out. And people still did it because it was like awesome, right? So so it sounds like the only thing that's necessary is for you to just have like a blank page with a video saying, "Hey, you want to swim with whales? Call me. Like, book a call. Let's talk."
Yeah.
And there's just an energy block between you now and like going.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. So
And then
what does that feel?
totally like, who do I think I am? I can do this. The woman who I worked for all these years, she was like a big powerhouse woman. She was like her background was marketing, and she could just talk shit all day. And she was, but it's what I didn't like too, because she was a liar, and she was like out of integrity.
Yeah.
But she still had this confidence. She could, sell ice to an Eskimo or whatever the saying is. And I'm kind of like, my marketing is like this. I'm like, so there's this thing, and like, if you want to do it, that'll be great. But if you don't, like, that's totally fine as well. And
Okay. Yeah. We can correct that here. Yeah. That's
that's how I market things. So I have kind of found that sweet spot of like, because it's not like I'm trying to con anyone, or I'm not or scam anyone. Like, my offering is genuinely life changing and amazing. Like, it's swimming with whales. It's like, it's incredible, and it kind of should sell itself.
exactly. Yeah. Like you should be like, hey, swimming with whales,
Yeah,
coming over.
yeah.
Right. But
Yeah, totally. The phone should be off the hook.
mhm. All
But
right.
I need to charge like 6,000 New Zealand dollars, maybe even like 6 2. So I think maybe 3,500 American. It always sounds much better in American dollars. And that's where I get really like stuck to, like, because I feel like, and I think that's just because where I'm at with money, like, I couldn't afford to go on a $6,000 trip.
Right.
So therefore, I find it hard to believe that someone,
Yeah.
I think that just sort of came to me now as I'm talking to you. I'm like, oh, is that
What
why?
What's the most you've ever invested in yourself in a thing?
Oh, it would be like in the hundreds, I suppose, tops. Like, I've never done something like that. And
Yeah.
whenever I've gone on trips, I mean, I've been like scraping and scrimping, and I've just done some cool things, but it's been through, it's never been because there's been lots of money there to enable me to do it.
Yeah. So that's one of the things. Is like money is a very good mirror. So the most you've invested for yourself will kind of be the threshold of what you're comfortable charging others. And it will just seem inconceivable, like that, that you could charge that much. I mean, but everything changed for me when I started investing in myself. I invested 7,000. Now the biggest thing I've ever invested in myself for like a teacher that I'm really happy about is $12,000. And it's the most life-changing thing I've ever done, because this person is just at a super high level of understanding with what I wanted to get help with. And I'm just comfortable, charging that much for my stuff as well. Like, it's in the close to 10,000s sometimes for people to work with me.
It makes so much sense though, right?
Yeah. So, do you have a check? Do you have
No,
checkbook?
like, no, no one uses checkbooks down
Oh,
here.
no, that's like 1998. Yeah. And I'm just thinking, like, because if the cash isn't there right now, what you can do is just write an IOU, like, okay, Magenta, I'm taking you for like a $6,000 vacation. Like,
Yeah,
just put a jar and be like, this is an IOU. Like, I'm committed to doing it. And that'll just make a little ship for you.
yeah.
Do a little jar. All right. So this is good. Would you like to know what's happening in your body right now?
Yes.
So when you go out and you start to create things like that, the illusion is that you will just go out and do this thing, and then you'll be successful, and it's going to be like, and then you'll make the money, and then you'll feel good. But the reality is that it's quite the obvious. You have to go through an initiation, and that's what your body's bringing up for you. It's bringing up all the crap that's out of alignment with the future you, that you actually feeling called to embody right now. And so it's like, as soon as you get that, it's going to get a lot easier, because the mind's trying to overcome this lack of that's why I call it transcending self-confidence. The mind's like, I need to get confident right now. And I'm here to tell you that you don't. Yeah, I want you to embrace the shit with me today, and we will in a moment, to go into this darkness and actually be really comfortable with it. Because there's really no such thing as being confident these days. The confidence which you're describing in that person, which by the way was so toxic you couldn't even stand them. I don't know what she's doing now, right? It's kind of like a self-denial. Like I feel so much crap underneath, so I'm going to prop up this version of myself so that I get what I want. And it worked kind of like in the 90s, but these days, like everything is coming up to the surface. Yeah. And you're a very sensitive person, right? You can't just push all these feelings down that other people can. And so how does that resonate so far, what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100%.
Like you get to be a crucible right now. Like you got this embodiment that you want to step into. You want to like share these vacations. By the way, I still resonate with what you're doing. That's kind of what I'm doing with my sailing vision as well.
Totally.
Delayed that project at the moment, but it's like all the doubt, all the fear comes up so that you actually get to meet it and transmute it and become this person.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So what's this feelings of like, I can't, who am I to do this? Who are you to think you can do it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Where do those appear for you in your body?
Well, they're definitely they're like all around my heart. It's like I'm afraid to be seen.
Yeah. Yeah, I can feel that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's the worst thing that could happen if you were seen?
Mm. I'm afraid to disappoint people around me. I'm afraid, like maybe it's an approval thing. It's I don't want to disappoint people. It's more about people I know who love me too. Like I don't want to let them down.
Yeah.
Let down my family, my children, my husband, my and I think it's also a bit of a ego and an identity thing. Like if I'm not Magenta who swims with whales, well, who am I? What's my purpose? Like.
So it's, in other words, it's kind of safer right now to have this as a dream.
Yeah.
That might happen, but if you really embark and you fail, then that's really going to be the end of the world, right? And they'll be disappoint yourself, right? Yeah. So rather than have that be a possibility, what I'm saying is let's experience that right now.
Yeah.
So what's the worst thing about disappointing people and yourself?
Well, also, I mean, my children really come into it because I really want my children to believe they can do anything. They can follow their dreams, and that I really want them to have a sense of like the world is a magical place. They can do whatever they want. They just have to believe in themselves. And if I can't show them that, I feel like I've really failed them.
Great.
And really let them down. And
what's the worst thing about failing them and letting them down?
the worst thing about that is that they end up not having a better sense of self-worth than I do.
Mm-hmm. What would that mean about you? Would you be like a failure as a mother?
Yeah, totally. A failure as a mother.
Yeah.
Failure as a mother.
So just to give you some pretext, we're not calling this in.
Yeah,
but
understand.
we're going to liberate the part of you that just an energy in it, because like I get that you get this. So just follow me for a moment. Just take a deep breath into your heart.
I understand. I trust the process.
Yeah, just take a deep breath. And just repeat after me. You can put your hand on your heart too if you want. It's okay for me to fail my children in my body.
It's okay for me to fail my children and my body.
Mm-hmm. And just let those tears release. And just breathe gently and let this energy move. Letting the breathing, relaxing your face and your neck, feeling what you're feeling. It's okay for me to be a failure in my body.
It's okay for me to be a failure in my body.
And just breathing into all these energies, whatever darkness is coming up, it's all moving. You're doing great. The universe and your body already knows how to do this. It's just releasing this heaviness that you've been carrying. This, by the way, is the reason why this isn't moving forward. It's because this cannot come from the motivation of, I need to prove something to my kids. This has to be like, I'm doing this for the hell of it.
Yeah, yeah,
This is very, very, it's an egoic motivation that actually
yeah,
can't last.
yeah.
And it's terrifying, but it's actually mostly releasing now. It's okay for my children never to know magic because of me.
It's okay for my children to never know magic because of me.
Yeah. My children can fail in my body.
My children can fail.
And the reality is like none of that, we're not manifesting any of that. We're just releasing the tension of the resistance of this possibility because the reality is like you can't control that. And your children and the whales are still here. But the egoic idea of like what your children need to experience, like that's disappearing. It's like the egoic idea of what you have to do to like, it's as if like, no, you died and like you go to heaven and like God's there. He's like, Magenta, like the magic was just sucked out of the world because of you. I had it all. I was so weaving the magic in the world, but you just fucked it up and it disappeared. It's like if you just tried harder, you would have been there, right? Like no, it's like it's there no matter what, right?
Mm.
This is the same thing I've had to realize with my project too. By the way, I was like, we're mirroring each other. I was motivated all by this, like I gotta create this magic so I don't feel depressed. And like life sent me into the depths of depression as I was getting closer to manifesting it because it's like, no, this has to be something different.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, I just couldn't put my finger on how I was trying to run my business before COVID, but I was trying to run it from ego. It's exactly how I would sum it up. It's like what you're saying. It was all like because of the identity of it, because of what it would all of that. It was and that's what I knew I needed to drop. If I was going to redo this, it couldn't be from ego. It had to come from a different place.
Mm-hmm. So what are you feeling now?
Much more relaxed and much more clarity. Like that's quite a big epiphany to be able to kind of articulate and um even the idea of like my children, that when they were younger we would be in the islands while I was working, and I love to tell people that babies were swimming with whales when they were 3 years old, and there was a certain amount of ego in that, that became a part of an extension of my identity.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just really realizing in this moment this it's like I'm feeling the different, sometimes it's hard to articulate, but I'm feeling that where the energy has to come from this time that would be different from last one, if that makes sense. A more pure energy.
And that's something you don't even need to try to do. It's like this thing that's happening now, it's also like part of like, I want to make it pure. It's like, it's okay for this to be toxic. Say that. It's okay for me to be a toxic business leader in my body.
It's okay for me to be a toxic business leader in my body.
Kind of throwing that in for kicks, but it's going in deeper, this energy of like, I could just be me, right? Everything.
So accepting all of it.
Yeah, everything that we try to do to make it more pure, more this, it's like it's just little entertaining ways we try to entertain ourselves to think that we can make it something other than what we actually are. Yeah. So repeat after me right now. We'll do some integration on this. Body, what would it take to release and transmute?
Body, what would it take to release and transmute
All this fear that I've been carrying,
all this fear that I have been carrying,
this shame
the shame
of being who I am,
of being who I am,
being afraid to be seen as I am,
being afraid to be seen as I am.
and what would it take to release and transmute
And what would it take to release and transmute
everything I've bought and sold to myself
everything I've bought and sold to myself
about needing to be perfect?
about needing to be perfect,
Yeah. About needing to be pure,
about needing to be pure?
what if the truth was
What if the truth was
that I am already enough just as I am right
that I am already enough just as I am right now?
now? What if the truth was
What if the truth was
that I'm ready as I am right now?
that I'm ready as I am right now?
And things could begin to come to me in a way way more easy,
And things could begin to come to me in a way that's way more easy,
way easier than I ever previously imagined.
way easier than I ever previously imagined.
I just take a deep breath into that. What if I could allow it to be created for me?
What if I could allow it to be created for me?
What would it take, body?
What would it take, body?
And you can just gently tap your heart too. What would it take, body, to deeply and completely embrace myself as I am?
What would it take, body, to deeply and completely embrace myself as I am?
Every single feeling,
Every single thing.
and I want you just to connect to this fear of like stepping out and like being seen. See how much you've been trying to overcome it and trying to make it go away. And just say to it, thank you, I love you.
Thank you, thank you. I love you.
It's okay for you to be here in my body.
It's okay for you to be here in my body.
We got this.
Yes.
It's safe for you to be exactly the way you are.
it's safe for you to be exactly the way you are.
How are you feeling right now, Magenta?
I'm feeling really really at a lot of peace.
Mm-hmm.
I'm feeling yeah, a lot of peace and acceptance, or like yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I'm feeling quite still in my mind of I'm feeling like quite, yeah, I'm feeling just quite still. I'm like, I can feel the energy, like I'm in like a bit of a clearer flow of energy.
Mm-hmm. Great. So what we're doing here is we're loving the parts that are coming up that have previously not really been seen. Instead of trying to make them go away, maybe becoming confident, we're just like fully embracing it. And so you have a somatic sense of what that's like right now, right? So I want you to know that like every time I make a video or every time like I do like a live thing, well, these days a little less because I'm doing this a lot, but like especially in the beginning of my journey, like every time I just have this voice that says, "Who are you? You can't do this, blah blah blah," and you all these reasons, right? They're all like super valid reasons, like well, they make less sense now, but like they're very valid reasons. They're very believable. And what that is like what I said in the beginning, just like the dragon screaming. You know, the dragon screams the loudest when you're not listening to it. The dragon of the imposter syndrome and everything. It's just a sign that you're moving in the right direction. This energy wouldn't be coming up unless you were stepping up to the plate. Instead of letting it stop you, you just gotta breathe into it and be like, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. Because like the idea that I need to become confident is stemming from the place that there's like a shitstorm happening in me and that shouldn't be happening. And
Mm-hmm.
so like it's so totally normal to just be moving forward and being shaking and shitting your pants. Like it will only last, I promise you, it will only last for 3 minutes if you fully go into it. You're like, okay, I'm gonna make the video. I'm gonna ask for 6 grand. I'm gonna shit my pants. That's okay. 10 minutes later, you're like, wow, I made $6,000. What happened? Because I was willing to be in the shitting my pants sensation and just to breathe that through. You know, like what we just did now here is we faced the worst fear and we just breathed it. And it's like, what happened to that now? Like,
Yeah, yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, yeah, that's right. What happened to that? So it's like, you know, the whole gratitude manifesting movement has kind of led us in this other direction all these years, in a way of like, um you got to focus on what you want constantly, or you're gonna you know, because your thoughts attract everything. And so we it's almost like there's so much good in those ideas, but they don't really allow us to drop in like what we just did and feel the stuff that's there that wants to be felt, right? Like,
yeah, yeah. Much of that has been born out of egoic feeling of feeling unworthy and wanting to create a better life. So the secret is you can have a better life if you just have these thoughts. And you know, it's great because it brought us so far, but there's an evolution, right, of understanding. Because the reality is, I'm sure you've watched this in some of my videos, it's like that tension inside of you actually creates suppression, which is a chemical friction, which then we're constantly fighting with, and it can actually make you sick. And the
totally.
reality is like what's in your energy field only expands until you receive it, like you just did, right? And so if we're constantly like, I'm not enough, I have to become better, the only thing that's going to become bigger is this reality. Like from that place, you could go and create this amazing whale company, swimming company, but it's like you'll still feel that feeling of like I could fail any moment. It'll be horrible, right? It'll just get amplified, right? There'll be
Yes.
always something with the money. It's like, or I'm just constantly thinking like I'm not enough, right? Yeah.
Yeah. It's like if, when you're struggling for money and you're trying to trying to visualize that you've actually got all this money and money flows to me, but actually just more bills keep flowing in, and then
Mhm.
you're yeah, it's just exactly like what you said, that amplifies how frustrated you are
Mhm.
about not having money, because you're trying to visualize that you've got money, and it's instead
Yeah.
of just feeling feelings of lack, and like in your meditations and stuff.
Yeah, to embrace the lack, and it just dissolves in your energy fields, and then before you know it, like you're just more neutral. Like right now, how much do you care about failing as a mother?
Yeah, like, no, I that doesn't feel like that's the reality, yeah, like
Versus,
nothing.
yeah, versus like, okay, I better be a successful mom. Like
Yeah,
you are now a better mom than before, and you will be. But like the egoic idea of the mom has to die.
yeah,
It's like God is still working through you as a mother, right? As
yeah.
every, so instead, like with the money, try this on for a moment. Just like put your hand on your heart, take a deep breath, and just say, I'm so glad that everything is falling into place.
So glad that everything's falling into place.
So glad that this thing just happened in the most effortless, easeful, graceful way.
So glad that things just happen in the most effortless, easeful way.
Having so much fun with all the right people.
Having so much fun with all the right people.
It's a little bit scary, but I'm loving that too.
It's a little bit scary, but I'm loving that too.
Oh, the ocean feels so good.
And being in the ocean, it feels so good.
And just do that until you feel a click in your body, just like even a small little opening energetically. And then
Yeah, feel it.
this is a way better way to manifest, because we just want to open the body to receiving the thing, right? We like, you don't really like manifest your reality, you receive it. And we just want to open up, right? To the finished result of like what would it actually, they do that a little bit in the whole manifestation thing, focus on what you feel, but like just, it's not like focus, it's like feel it, like actually like just be it and be okay with that darkness too first, right? So we can attune frequency wise to what it is that we're creating, because your body's already kind of like been responding to things you've been buying into that just haven't been true, because there's been subconscious tension of like, this is going to be difficult, it's going to be hard, I got to make sure I do it right, otherwise I'll fail and my kids will die and it's going to be awful. And your body's like, this is out of alignment with truth, right? Because the reality is like, video invite, let's go see whales.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm, yeah, I love that. It's amazing what you don't realize is like, if you'd, yeah, I couldn't have said to you right off the bat, what's the blockage? Oh, failure as a mother. Like that wouldn't have, do you know what I mean? And then it's just incredible what comes up, what is just right bubbling under the surface that wants to be seen and felt and transmuted.
Yeah. So
Mm.
let's shift the rest of this. So let's build this business. So 6,000 ahead. Let's work backwards. So you got me on the call. I'm interested. I'm like, how much is it?
It's only $6,000.
Okay, how does that feel right now?
Fake for me. Yeah, it didn't, a little bit hard.
Yeah.
Like, I'm worried I'm gonna shock you.
Right.
That you're gonna be like all in until you get to the price, and then you're gonna be shocked and be like, "Ugh,
Mm-hmm.
I can't call you back." See ya.
Which is that's yeah. Let's stick with that feeling. Like, right. Where's that
um,
body?
that's in my gut. Like, yeah, let's lower down.
So what's the worst about that? About me being shocked?
Um, it's like it devalues my whole offering. And when I feel that you are like, oh, I can't afford that, it's a lot. It yeah, it's like it makes me feel like it devalues the whole thing for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not worth it. And then I think, yeah, and then it makes me feel like, so am I a fraud? Like, is this just a bullshit? Am I trying to like just take people's money, and is it not worth it? And
Who are you if you're just trying to take people's money?
I'm an imposter.
You mentioned scam artists before.
Yeah. Like yeah, like yeah. I don't know if like scam artist or con artist is exactly what I'm trying to imagine, but it's like, is there something disingenuous about this? Am I ripping people off?
Well, part of that is because you're not clear on the value that this actually has. So we can
Mm.
get into it, but I want to like address the energy first because this is pretty big. And it would be easier if you spent that much money on yourself, but we can just do it this way because like that will open that up too. So disingenuine kind of con artist. It's almost like you're talking yourself into how valuable this is. And then if I say no, or I'm shocked, it kind of pulls the rug from underneath of you. Does that feel about right?
Yeah. And you know what it is? It's because I have the price of what it costs to do the trip, right? And then I have to add on to that I add on the profit for that, for
Yeah.
what I make.
Ah, right. Yeah.
And that's the hard part for me.
Mm.
Is like, what if they find out? And should I be taking that much money? Like, as the person organizing the trip, is that like okay? In
Well,
reality,
how much are you taking for yourself? Tell me.
um, well, it probably would cost them like 3.5. Oh well, I get it. No, it wouldn't cost them that because I get it cheaper because the resorts give me a discount to book
Mhm.
a group. So I get a discount from the boat and the accommodation. So actually, in reality, they're probably going to pay about $1,000 more each than they would if
How
they
much are
had
you
to go.
taking? How much are you taking home?
And
For
I'll take home. My family will go for free, and I'll take home 7 grand.
but per person per ticket, how much are you putting extra for
Um,
yourself? Knowing
I'm
what
putting on extra like 2,500 to
okay.
3,000.
So two and a half, 3,000 goes to you.
Um, yeah,
So if you have 7 guests, you make like 21 grand in profit.
no. Oh no, I haven't done that. I haven't told you that right because it's not that much profit. It's probably about oh I'll come away with 7,000 profit, but that's after my whole family has gone for free too. So that's part of the profit is me and my family all staying there and I'm out on the water. So that all gets factored into it as well.
But how big is your family?
Five, I have 3 children and a
Nice.
husband.
And you're still paying like full price for them, right?
Yeah.
Right. So that's so
Well,
okay.
yeah.
So theoretically, you pocket 21 grand, but a lot of that is going to the thing.
Yes.
Have you ever
Yeah.
made $21,000 in an engagement before?
Only when I worked for this other woman.
Right. So that was a paycheck you were getting.
Yes. Yeah. 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 No, I've never made that for myself.
Yeah. And that was like over multiple seasons, or over a season.
She
Like
would know. She would pay me like 30 grand for one season to come and work for her.
how long?
That was like 2.5 months of work or
Okay.
two.
I see. And this is just like a week trip, right? Right.
Yes.
So it's 21 grand for a week. So it's an
Yeah.
upgrade. Right.
Yeah.
Cool.
I didn't realize.
How does it feel just to talk about it right now?
Naughty.
Yeah. Holy crap.
Like,
What are we
am
talking?
I not worthy of that? You know,
Yeah.
like
Uh-huh.
how, you know,
Where's that not worthy feeling in your body? So yeah, what we're talking about the justifying, right? So let's just we need to be with this energy. Like let's just greet it. Okay, that's
see
kind of
how uncomfortable I am. I'm trying to like say to you, like, no, it's not that much. I'm not making that much, surely.
yeah. In fact, can you come closer to the screen a little bit? Like pull up your seat. Like
Mhm.
yeah,
That's
let's
better.
let's really just own this.
Mm.
Oh, and just breathe into it.
Yeah.
Ah,
And I'm worried about like what you're thinking about me right now in this moment. I'm thinking that you're probably thinking, that's cheeky. You
good.
know, like it's totally you
Yeah,
could
let's take a
say.
deep breath into that. And it's okay for them to think I'm cheeky
Oh, it's okay for them to think I'm cheeky
in my body.
in my body.
It's okay for them to think I'm a con artist in my body.
It's okay for them to think I'm a con artist in my body. No, I'm like screaming. No, it isn't.
Yeah, it's okay for
There's
me
a
to scream.
resistance.
It's okay for that scream to be good too. It's good. It's perfect.
um, my dad's a real con artist.
Mm,
My dad owes a lot of people a lot of money.
it's okay for me to be like my dad in my body.
Ah, there it is. It's okay for me to be like my dad. I want to shrivel up and die when I say that. Like
It's
that.
okay for me to shrivel up and die. Then we're just rolling.
To shrivel up and die.
Yeah. All that's all there. Like I don't want to be like my dad. I need to be this better person. If I charge this, then they're gonna think this. So it's all is flowing out of us right now, out of you, and
Mhm.
just meeting all of it. And just see if you can just say, I love you, I love you, I love you, thank you to this energy, to all this shrivel up and down energy, all this con artist energy, this imposter, this like shriveling worm at the bottom of a tequila glass, just trying to get out.
It's so big, bigger than I thought.
Yeah. Yeah, money's super triggering. It's like connected to self-value. So it's the best place for us to do our most spiritual work, which is why I love it. Love doing this work with people. It has nothing to do with like money really, but like who we are.
Yeah.
The more of this
Mm.
you can receive, the faster the money will flow and transmute into pure love, pure abundance for you, pure awesomeness. The more of this you're willing to receive, the more you will get. Because this energy has been tied up with receiving money.
Mm.
I will be this con artist. I will be this disingenuous person. So I'm going to do everything I can to be a pure, amazing mom. Who are you when you're not trying to do that?
Mm.
And so just let your heart receive all these energies. Breathing in golden light down the top of your head, right into all of it, into the center of your being, letting it fill all these energies of imposter, scam artist, disingenuine, irresponsible parent. I'm just like my dad. And you feel how it's like just warming up, like that polarity is disappearing, and you're just here with it. I'm actually thinking, you want to know what I'm actually thinking? Like 7 grand for a retreat. And that's kind of like charge more.
And I'm thinking, who am I to make this sort of money? That is, ugh.
Mm-hmm. Body, what would it take to release and transmute? Just repeat that. Body, what would it take to release and transmute
Body, what would it take to release and transmute
everything I've bought and sold to myself about money,
everything I've bought and sold to myself about money,
about self-worth and money,
about self-worth and money,
about needing to be special to deserve money,
about needing to be special to deserve money,
about needing to be special to receive love and life and beauty,
about needing to be special to receive love and light and beauty.
and what would it take to recognize the truth
What would it take to recognize the truth
that I am already enough,
that I am already enough,
that I am sourced and whole,
that I'm sourced and whole,
and it's okay to be open and vulnerable,
and it's okay to be open and vulnerable,
and to live from that vulnerability.
to live from that vulnerability.
See, because the sense I'm feeling right now, it's like with this whole thing with money, you're kind of just like when this little girl hiding, like, oh, hope they don't see me. Like, oh, 6 grand, is it okay? Right. And you're hiding this vulnerable part of you that's like, oh, okay, well, I better put on a good show for them so that it's okay. And the reality is like, I'm so whole. I'm so okay in my darkness. I'm so okay to be a con artist. I'm that and so much more. I'm just here. I'm just here in this moment, piercing through my heart, shining at you, smiling at you from this place. I don't need anything. I don't want anything. I'm so whole. I'm willing to feel every feeling that's happening in this body.
Mm.
And it's $6,000. Whatever that means. Like, yeah. So let's take a deep breath. I am willing to receive.
I am willing to receive.
I'm willing to receive love.
I'm willing to receive love
In its purest form.
in its purest form.
From all directions.
From all directions.
Including money.
Including money.
Love.
Love.
Time.
What was that one?
Time.
Time.
Resources.
Resources.
Connection.
Connection.
Beauty.
Beauty.
Because the truth is,
I
am already sourced. I am already whole.
I am already sourced. I am already whole.
And I simply get to enjoy.
And I simply get to enjoy
what appears in my life.
What appears in my life.
As I embrace this truth.
As I embrace this truth.
And anything that is not in alignment with that,
anything that is not in alignment with that,
please delete, delete, delete.
Please delete, delete, delete.
Destroy and uncreate.
Destroy and uncreate.
Yeah. Let's put both your hands on your heart and receive that. Beautiful. What are you feeling now?
I'm feeling like I'm ready to go to work. Like I'm ready to, not like go to work, but like get to work. I mean, get to work. I'm like feeling like I'm feeling energized and I'm feeling clear to like move forward. I want to create the information to put it out there to I'm just feeling this wave of inspiration.
Yeah. Well, let's do that. So tell me about this thing. So just check in $6,000. How does it feel now? Like, tell me how much the thing is. I really want to go. I really hope I can come. Like, can I? Is it?
Yeah, it's $6,000.
Yeah.
It's just $6,000.
Yeah.
It feels a lot better. It's
Take
still
the
feeling
take,
like,
take the just out and say it's
yeah,
$6,000.
$6,000. It's $6,000.
Okay. Cool. I'm like New Zealand money.
Yeah, New Zealand.
I'm in. Nice. How does that feel?
That felt amazing when you just said I'm in. That like that felt tangible, like
Hmm. Yeah.
unbelievable. I'm off. Like, hey, we're on.
Yeah. Great. So take the just out whenever you do that in the sales process. By the way, I will send you a free video that you can watch on how to sell on the phone through the heart, and it will help you a lot. I think you'll like it. But take the just out, because that's another thing. Like, oh, it's really this uncomfortable thing that's going to ruin you. But if I just
But Justin,
just paint it a little bit, it's gonna like it might not scare you. Right?
yeah,
It's hard to
totally.
imagine people with money if you surround yourself with, not that. I've been through that. I know it. But believe me, there's just people with money, and it's like that's $3,000. It's like nothing. I would expect to pay like 5,000 for that, for like a weekend retreat, US.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, and I think too, like I'm in New Zealand, as you know, and right now everybody in New Zealand is talking about the cost of living crisis we're in. Our economy is terrible right now, and everybody is struggling in this country, and everybody is talking about it. We're
everybody
perpetuating it.
everybody who's talking about it seems to be struggling.
Totally. Yeah, and it's New Zealand is. Have you ever been to New Zealand, or do you know many Kiwis? Like
Yeah.
we have a thing here called tall poppy syndrome, where it's like a saying of like um Kiwis tend to like pull each other down. If someone's doing well, people around them will just tease them and berate them and make jokes, and pull them down. We're not like,
Yeah,
I
so
love
he's a
being,
big shot successful
yeah,
entrepreneur, right? All
yeah.
right. Yeah.
Like I just saw my friend who's a Kiwi. He's starting to do the YouTube channel and stuff, and he's putting himself out there doing videos. And straight away, all our Kiwi friends are like, "Oh, look at you, Mr. Social Media now." It's just that sort of shit, and
Yeah.
that's really typical Kiwi mentality and behavior. And that's why I love hanging out with my American friends, because I feel like they just have this totally different energy of like, yeah, just do what you want. Like anything's possible. It's such a different energy than down here in little New Zealand, where we're so afraid to be big.
Yeah.
Typically,
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, you get to transcend that for the collective. And, it's like, let's not be in denial that for sure there's a global economic thing happening, this massive inflation and all this crazy shit. But it's like the way I see it, it's like, okay, let's create, let's own that. And what else is possible? Like, I'm not going
and I
to,
mean, I
right?
was still watching all whale season. Thousands of people going to swim with whales and spending
Yeah.
this money and doing it. It's like
It's all in
it's
how we respond to the information that we're getting. Okay, the numbers are shifting on the price of the kiwi. Okay, well, do I contract, or do I go, okay, well, that's just what's happening right now, and what else is possible? Like,
yeah,
and this is exactly what's needed, just continuous creation of beauty and experiences.
yeah,
So, so we've moved some of that energy with the money. Now the next step is to actually do it, and more will come up when you do it. But I just want you to know, like, that's totally normal. Like if you get a contraction on a call, just breathe into it. And I want you to go into the torpedo. Like, don't try to make it like, oh, only like just own it. Like you could even own it. Like, look, this is the first time I put this together. I'm a little nervous, but this is the price. This
yes,
like people will understand.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's coming up for me again. I just got offered a job here in New Zealand, um, as an underwater photographer for a freediving company. They just called me and they're like, "Can you do some photo shoots for us? We do mermaid training." So they teach people to swim underwater with the tails on, and it's super beautiful. And they're like, we want a photographer. And my first freeze response, I mean, it's like that's perfect for me. It's like 10 minutes from my home. I can work it around my kids. It ties me over for the summer and until we go and do these bigger trips. But my first freeze thing was like, what do I charge? How do I put a price and charge accordingly? And the woman's even saying to me, listen, I really like empowering women in business. So you need to charge and make it worth it for you.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm totally, it's just another example of this money.
Just breathe. You got to breathe into that. What's the story with that? Do you have to come back to her, or do you make an offer?
I've got to she's emailing me with exactly what she's wanting. Like there's some day shoots, and then she wants me to offer packages to people who do like their free diving course, and at the end of it, if you want to add it on, you can have an underwater shoot, and a professional photographer will come and take beautiful photos of you.
So this is like 2-3 months you're going to be working?
4 months. It could be 4 months of like just like this.
So how much do you need per month to like live? And how much do you need to make?
I mean, if I could make, even if I like, I only need to listen to me. Like, okay, like
Let's breathe into it. Let's just
$1,000 a week would be amazing. Would be great.
Yeah, 12 grand.
Yeah.
Is that? I mean, I don't know anything about Kiwi. Like, wait, that's like 500 a week. All right.
Well, if I could make 1,000 a week, it would be so great for my family.
Okay, so let's just say 1,000 a week, so $12,000.
Yeah.
How's that feel?
Out of reach.
Yeah. Okay, I'll show you something really cool with that. So just put your hands up like that and just put them on your knees. Just rest and just breathe into your heart. This is to help you shift this as you go into it, because it's like, just want to recognize how much there's coming to you. Like there's abundance coming for you, like so much. Like you're literally just landing in your lap like a mermaid swimming in your tail. Like you just have to receive this, right? And the heart's like, no, well, not the heart. I mean, the ego's like, yeah. So let's just put your heart into your left hand. Ask your heart and the whole universe to go into your left hand, into your left palm. And then put all this energy of like, I don't know if it's out of reach, whatever, into your right hand. All that lack of self-worth, unworthy. And then notice which hand feels heavier, the left one or the right.
Right.
Yeah. So now gently, just slowly ask your heart to take this feeling from you. You don't really know what to do with it. And just take your right hand and slowly put it into your left, giving all these feelings to the heart. Stick it into the left hand. Now taking both of those hands and putting it onto your heart. Okay, palm down, giving it to the heart. And taking a deep breath. And so it's this one question of like, even though this feels so out of reach,
Even though this feels so out of reach,
I wonder what else is possible for me.
I wonder what else is possible for me.
And so it's easier here to ask, okay, well, I'll do it for 5. I'll do it for 6, right? Because then I'm not Because if I ask for 12, maybe it'll go away. I'll get nothing, right? Like something like
Yeah,
this.
yeah. Yes, that's exactly the fear, that if I ask for too much, it'll slip away.
Yeah. So the truth is that there's actually something higher possible for you. And this contraction, it's felt very familiar for a long time of like, I'm gonna play small. Yeah. How do you feel right now after this little exercise, by the way?
Yeah, a lot lighter, a lot like
Mm.
a lot of a different perspective, and
Yeah. So what does your heart tell you that's actually?
instead of feeling like I'm in it, it's like I feel like I can see it, if that makes sense. Like,
And there's like a spaciousness around it.
yeah, yeah.
It's a little exciting to ask for 12,000, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really exciting to feel like that would drop into my bank account. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it feels like um expensive, like
Mm-hmm.
um, freeing.
And so like your only job there is to just breathe into that uncomfort and to just
Mhm.
trust yourself that your higher guidance is asking you for something more expansive right now. Do you notice how expansive it feels? It feels freeing, right? It feels like relaxation, right?
Mhm.
If you ask from that place, there's no way that this can be bad. At the
Mhm.
very worst, somebody be like, "Oh, can I break that down into 4 payments for you?" Like,
Yeah, yeah.
I can feel you. You got this. You're already radiating at this energy.
Mm.
It just felt like a struggle because you've been buying into this that you need to like charge less or not receive, right?
A lifetime,
Hmm.
like, of this energy.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just keep receiving that darkness and it will shift.
Mm.
I can't wait to hear what you're going to do. And, yeah. It's not about challenging yourself to do something either. Like it's just about like, okay, I'm willing to receive this. Like, it's really uncomfortable to receive in the beginning, right?
Yeah, that's the like the work that you do, that shift to manifest, from manifest to receive, is so huge. Like, um that you speak about, in your videos, and that the work is on, is that shift to become a receiver. Is so beautiful, so amazing and helpful.
Yeah. So this is awesome. So we've got $12,000 coming in from this, and then another 21,000 retreat. Like you're
Yeah.
just lining up awesome stuff here. So let's talk about the retreat. So how many days is it?
It's 7 nights, 6 days.
Okay. And then like,
It's 5 days on the water, swimming with whales.
hold on, I'm gonna help you structure this a little bit because I want you to see the value in a different way. This is the other aspect of it here. So 7 nights, 6 days. And what was that underwater?
Five days on the water with the whales.
Underwater.
Yeah, going out on, yeah, underwater with the whales, swimming with the whales.
Like
5 days
actually
swimming.
scuba diving, or you're just swimming with them?
Just snorkeling, free diving.
And what else happens on the retreat?
There is it's an eco resort, so it's all, they grow their own food, and they build the fales from resources on the island. It's all 100% off grid, and it's snorkeling straight off the beach out to the reef. There will be a Tongan feast put on, eating, yeah, like local food. There's all meals are included.
Did you say Italian feast like Italy?
Oh, sorry, a Tongan feast. It's in Tonga.
Tonga?
Yeah, Tonga. Tonga is a group of islands in the South
Like
Pacific. Tonga.
Tonga?
Yeah. Yep. You get it right. You spelled it right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect.
I'm going sailing there for sure.
Yeah. 100%. You got to.
Who is this for? Like, is this just for anybody, or like specific type of people that you're inviting into it?
This is for anybody.
Hmm.
This is for anybody to come. So I really want 3 couples, 1 solo traveler,
Okay,
3
so
twin.
I'm from Australia. I'm 24. I do coke. I'm an addict, and I just want to like fucking see some whales. I want to photograph some fish. Am I invited?
Um, not really.
Okay,
It's
so let's get more
it's not really.
specific. Who is this
It's not,
for?
okay.
Are they,
This is for,
are they nature lovers?
yeah. This is for people who this is truly on like their bucket list, like to swim with whales. So it's for people who totally have dreamt of swimming with whales, have just Googled pictures of whales like for inspiration, have watched videos of whales and just dreamt about this moment for their whole lives. It's for those people, and it's also for people who love to seek real adventure. So people who love to just do like amazing things in nature, and they kind of like adrenaline seekers too, because it's a pretty big high adrenaline activity. So maybe people who love, to go and see, go on like African safaris or gorilla hiking, stuff like that.
By the way, those kind of people have money, because that's like costs money to do that.
Yeah. And it's people who choose to spend their money on those kind of experiences, like it's also for people who, like in the above, who are just dreamt of swimming with whales their whole lives, and they've just saved up for it because it is such a special thing to do. It's worth the money.
So see how in the beginning I'm like, what is this? And you're like, well, it's 6 days, 7 nights, 5 days snorkeling. So this is just all fulfillment. This is all just like what happens. And most people, when they try to sell stuff, they just focus on this. And it's like, okay, well, I guess $6,000 for that. I don't know. Like maybe I'll think about it. Let me come back to it. Like you're going to get those kind of responses. But if you focus on this,
Totally.
you're going to get a very different thing. And we need to hash this out. So this is like a once in a lifetime. Cross this off your bucket list. Like
Life-changing.
yeah, like life-changing.
When you're swimming with the whales, it literally will blow your heart center wide open. Like there's nothing. I don't think there's a comparable experience, because there is such an intimate connection that you can have with whales. I think more than, like, maybe I would be so bold as to say more than any other wildlife experience. When they swim past you and they look into your eyes, it sounds a little maybe cheesy, but if you have a connection with them, it's like a soul to soul connection, like they're looking into your soul, and it's such a pure connection that it really does, it goes straight to your heart chakra, and it's exhilarating. It's euphoric.
Wow. Okay. So keep talking. Anything else? Like,
I mean, it is the suspense when you jump in the water and it's just all you see is it's just blue. It's just dark, deep blue water, and then you're swimming, and then you see like a little white line, and that's like a fin, and the suspense of floating on the surface, and you're just waiting for the whales to come up, and then they come up beside you, and your heart's racing. People are starting to squeal underwater, and often it's usually a mother and a calf. Mum will come up, and then she will usually let her baby come and swim all around everybody. So you've got this baby whale in the water that's just super playful and curious, kind of swimming through people and around people, while the mother is just resting just below. And, that like kind of trust with human, like that interspecies connection where a mother trusts us to, be there and interact with her baby. I don't know that any other animals would do that, you know, like in the wild. And then sometimes you get in the water and you can hear the song of the whale, and you're swimming in the direction that you think the whale is, and the song gets louder and louder, and then you're like above the whale, and you might not even be able to see it, but the song is so loud it's like reverberating through your body. I believe that at that point it's literally like restructuring us on like a cellular level, you know. It's like, it's just, there's no sound like it. And these are the experiences that are guaranteed. Like, it's not even like a chance, like it's guaranteed that you will experience this. It's like, you might have it, we might miss a day typically on the water where we don't see anything and it's really hard. Yeah, it's like, it's a given that you're going to swim with whales. Yeah.
Amazing. Anything else?
Well, there's also the connections that the people make on the water, which is really beautiful, with each other, because you spend a whole week with these people. You know what it's like in retreats, how people bond super quick, because it's just that it's an intense and condensed amount of time. And especially when they're having an experience like that, you know, like they have that magic swim, everybody is just buzzing and beaming and hugging and in that moment together. So there's that's the really beautiful thing about doing it in a group versus just going for a day trip, because you could just fly to Tonga and you could go out for one day on a boat. You get that bond and the connection like with the group. And also on the first day that you put the people in the water, they're just often, they're pretty amateur in the water. They're flailing about. They think they're good snorkelers, but you put somebody in the deep, dark water, and sometimes there's waves and it's quite intense, and you know, we're like, try not to splash and be quiet. And on the first day everybody's just flapping about or crazy, but as the week goes on they just get so slick and so dialed. And that's the real magical thing too about the groups, is they learn the animal behaviors too. They learn how to be in the water, and they learn how to be at one with the whales too. Instead of like, there's a whale, just chuck us in, you know, they get way more in tune with the process.
How does that affect the rest of your life, this experience? Like, what happens after?
I think it's an experience that never leaves them, that they hold on to and they cherish for always. And in my experiences, I think lots of them would end up coming back. We had repeat guests for years, you know, because it was almost like they're addicted.
How does it affect you in your life? Like, what did it shift in your life having this experience? Were you more open, more receptive? Like, what has the medicine of this experience done for you?
Oh, how do I even put that into words? It's more, I feel like it's more a feeling you can come back to over and over. And when you're in it, it's such an uplifting, like it's so magical, and it's something that, yeah, that you can draw on that energy over and over. For me anyway, you know, it's like my time and my connection with the whales has been like, it's given me
what's different about you now than before you swam with whales?
Way more grounded. I have a passion for the ocean, being back in near the whales, a real connection to the ocean. Like, it feels like it being with them in the ocean makes you feel like it's like a going home, like it's
what problems or like stress points did you have in your life that aren't there anymore because you've had this experience?
A discontentedness that when I was in the water and with the whales, I felt for the first time in my life fully content. It was just incredible. So my whole life I had that feeling of, where is it? What am I chasing? What am I looking for? Where am I going? You know, and swimming with the whales, made me feel content. And it stays with me now. I mean, in all honesty, even if I couldn't get back to do it, that's a feeling, because I have done it, that does leave me with that feeling of.
Yeah, it's just this inner knowing, like, I know that exists, and like even if the world goes to shit, at least that's there,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
that's beautiful, that's real.
Mhm.
All right, so give me a second here. This is going to be some magic. Hopefully, this will blow your life in a moment. Okay, what is this? This is like, it's not even an adventure. It's like it's a metamorphic spiritual experience, kind of like that, right? It's a metamorphosis spiritual experience. It's just like awe-inspiring. My sense is like you have the experience that's just like so otherworldly, you know, otherworldly.
Yeah. I mean,
This
I
thing of
feel,
like mother trusting interacting with the baby, if just
ugh,
it's like awe meeting humility, meeting tears, like coming back to Jesus moment, you know, without the Bible. Like
100%. Yeah.
yeah, it's like you mentioned like coming home,
Yeah.
coming home to your divinity,
Yeah.
almost like coming home
Mm.
to your divinity.
I
Divinity.
feel like I haven't had the experience, but you know, when people like travel to India to to meet a guru or a swami, you know,
Mhm.
or and they have those connections, like, you know, Amma, the woman, the hugging, and they are in the presence of somebody who truly is authentic, and they just cry. They have this incredible experience, like they feel the divinity, you know, and I feel like, or if you're lucky enough to hold a baby that truly
Mm.
cuddles you and lets you feel their purity and their love. It's the same thing with the whale. It's so pure, it's so divine, and it's such a privilege.
Yeah,
You know, they're so huge, they're so formidable, yet they're so gentle and peaceful and graceful, um and they come to you. Like they let you be
yeah,
in their energy.
yeah, yeah,
It's like if a wild elephant came up to people in a really gentle way with her baby and was like, "Here, go have a play with my baby. Like, it's fine. I trust you." That, you know, you don't hear of that happening. Or a gorilla, you know.
yeah.
People have these amazing experiences with them where they see them, but they just see them, right?
Hmm.
Like, not like with the whales, it's a mutual interaction, and I think that's what makes it so like different and incredible for people. That whale will swim past a whole group of you, but that whale will make you feel like you were the only, it was just you and that whale. There wasn't anyone else in the water, and they do it to every single person. You know,
Yeah,
they're like, just because they look right, you know, into your eye. So every single person is having this moment of like, my whale swim. It was just me and that whale. You just see what just happened with me and the whale, and the whale's given that to everyone.
I'm going to send you this replay after, and I want you to re-listen to this part. And I want you to take all these parts that you just described, these stories, and just go like click, 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 and you're just going to make a video and we might just do it now. Like you're just going to describe it, and then all you got to do is just put some stock footage to that and just put it out. So here's the thing: you're not selling a whale swimming retreat. You're facilitating a life changing experience.
Yeah.
Do you see this? It's like before it was just like 7 nights, 6 days, snorkeling, eco resort. You get food included. Great, yay! Yeah,
Yeah.
the whales are off the beach. Great.
Yeah.
No, this is a once in a lifetime dream come true experience. Let me tell you first, like this is gonna just blow your heart wide open. I know you've been dreaming of this your whole life. It's just such an intimate connection with the whales. You just experience euphoria in the water. You'll end up coming from this having your own version of like meeting God, you know, you just feel more grounded. I left with this amazing passion for the ocean. For the first time in my life, I felt fully content before I had this experience, I was always chasing things like go, go, go. Now, even if I don't go out there, it stays with me for the rest of my life. Why? Well, because you just have this experience of like coming home to divinity. It's like this your mother just trusting you with her baby, like cuddling a baby for the first time, and you're feeling this purity. You're out in the water, your heart's racing, you don't even know why, you feel this suspense, and all of a sudden out of this darkness come these whales. This mother trusts you with the babies. You hear these whales singing. It's like this otherworldly sound. There's no sound like it. You'll never hear anything like it. And this happens every time. It's freaking wild. These whales just swim by you and they look you right in the eye, and you feel like they're looking right at you, and you're the only person in the universe. And you're just coming home. Like you're just coming back home. And the best part about this is you're not doing this alone. You're doing this for 6 days with other people who also love nature. They're adrenaline seekers, adventure seekers. We're just buzzing, beaming, hugging each other. This is pure medicine for the soul. And you might feel a bit nervous in the beginning, but in the end, you just feel so dialed in and connected to nature and the whole rhythm of this whole thing. And you walk away and you bring that into your life. And that's why I'm offering this, because I just want to share this experience with others. So if you want to experience this, book a call with me, and I'd love to talk with you. Because we only have spaces for 15 people. My family's coming. I just want the right people to come here. This isn't for everybody. If you're a nature lover, if you've been dreaming of this your whole life, and it's been on your bucket list, and you want to do this with the right people, this is for you. If you just dreamt of swimming with whales your whole life, this is for you. If you've done other kind of nature stuff, we'd love to meet you. Please book a call. This is happening on blah, blah, blah date.
Yeah. Yes.
How much is this? $6,000 New Zealand. What? Fuck yeah, I'll bring my wife. Do I get a discount for two? You're great. Awesome. How does this feel?
Yes. Feels so authentic. And that's what is important to me. It feels like it feels it's just truth. It's just pure, and it's truth, and it's so different from the 7 nights, 5 days on the water, blah blah blah. Who cares?
See, people think that way because they think they don't know what the value actually is, and this is what I'm teaching a lot now. The actual value, this is just the fulfillment, right? And you'll get to this at the end when people ask, well, okay, with the whatever, but like, I'll show you how to bring this into the conversation. So the real realization I'm facilitating for you here is the realization that the value of this thing is you. You are embodying this. This isn't the whales, like Magenta. This is actually you. I mean, the whales facilitated this shift in you, but you were open to it. You're someone who's ready to blow her heart wide open, meet God, and connect with people. Right?
Yeah.
They're calling you to freaking photograph mermaids. Like, that's why they're calling you. You're the woman for the job.
Yeah.
Have you cultivated these aspects of your life? Blowing your heart wide open, meeting God, and being with amazing people?
I feel like that's what I'm still seeking.
Yeah, because will never be finished, right? It's your DNA. You're just like hardwired to go for that, right? No. I'm just curious if that's been the general thread.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. Yes.
Yeah. So that's you.
Yeah.
And this experience that you're facilitating is just such a resonant match for what you are, that you just work together like a dance, you and the whales, to bring this to them. But the real value of this is not the fulfillment. It's the raw energy transfer that happens in these unforgettable moments where people have these realizations and they go from their head to the heart in 18 inches, and life is never the same. It's just completely different, right?
Yeah.
That's where the value happens. It's in the energy field of the thing, of the experience, and it's coming through you. And to sell this, you just need to show up, because it's already in your field. and just speak about this the way you did here. Was making sense?
Yeah, 100%.
That raw energy transfer is just, you can't put a price on it. It's like, what, meaning God? Like, what is that worth, right? It's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, and when I look at those, that it's like it truly speaks to me. Like, yes, this is what I'm here to do. This is what I'm here to be and facilitate. Like one and the same.
Yeah. So, do you care about the whales?
Yes.
Right. So, I love how you put that. I'm here to facilitate this, right? Because you can't put like a name on this experience. You can't put a real value on what the medicine really is.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you see how it's like a ceremony now?
Yeah. This is exactly how I wanted it to be. I just didn't know how to get it there.
Yeah.
This is where I wanted it to come from. I just didn't know how to get it there because I didn't want to be like, I was also shying away from running like a spiritual retreat, if you know what I mean. Like, we're gonna sit to the whales and do yoga. There was something that didn't align fully with that, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Well, like,
because all you need to, because that's kind of like making something up. It's going to be like that, and we're going to sing to the whales. But all you need to do is zoom out and see you're not creating value. You're just facilitating the value that's already there.
Already there. Yes.
Exactly.
The spiritual aspect of it exists. It doesn't need to be added to it by doing yoga and,
Exactly. Yeah.
That's a spiritual experience in and of itself.
Exactly.
And that's what I wanted to get across. I didn't know how. And so then I wondered if I needed to add all these trimmings to make it seem more spiritual.
Yeah. That's the imposter. Yeah. Try to just like put all this stuff on it, right?
So wondered if I
this is so wild, right? Like the value is there. I just need to facilitate it.
Yes.
And 100%. Like people watching this, like it's the same thing for no matter what you're creating. If you're doing coaching or creating events, it's just like you are the value. You just got to figure out where those things are.
Yeah.
All you need to do is just speak about these things in your best authentic self, like the way we just did it. We just wrote it all out. Just speak these things out, and you're just going to trigger that resonance in people, and they're seeing this experience through the lens of you.
Yeah.
So, coming back to that question, you caring about the whales and this being a ceremony, my invitation to you from now on is don't try to sell this. I want you to guard this. Mm-hmm. And not like in a closed way, but like the way that light workers win is they figure out their essence. This is what we're getting to here. And then just fiercely protecting it, focusing on that essence and nothing else. So your job right now isn't just to take anybody in. Don't think of it like sales calls or selling this thing. You want to meet people to see if this is the right fit for you to have them in this sacred experience. Come from that energy of like, this is happening and we just want the right people. And you get on these calls with people and you just have to make sure that they're the right person. Are they actually resonating with you?
Yes. Yeah. It's such a different energy to come from, instead of, like I said before, I felt my energy was kind of desperate.
Yes. Yeah.
I'll take anyone that's willing to pay.
Yeah. Do you want me? I'll send you a video on how to do this on the phone. Do you want me to walk you through it now and how would you like do those calls? Yeah. Okay, I'll be you. You'll be a random person that really wants to come. Let's just pretend that you're qualified to come. So don't be like a crackhead or something.
Should I just be me? Because I would really want to do this if I wasn't.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So we're on a call. We booked a call. You're coming on. I'm like, hey, Magenta, how are you?
Yeah, I'm great.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah. So thanks for booking a call. So, the way this call is going to work is I just really want to make sure this is the right fit. And hear more about what pulled your heart to this experience. And if it sounds like it's a fit, then I'll let you know. And then you can decide if you want to come. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So what's pulling your heart to this experience?
Well, I have just, since I was a little girl, I have I've just dreamt of whales and dolphins my whole entire life, and I've just always felt called to them. And like I wanted to be near them, and I have whale pictures everywhere. I have worked on boats previously. I've volunteered on boats just to be near the dolphins. I've volunteered on dolphin watching boats for years and years and years, and I just feel like that an experience like this is just going to be life-changing for me.
Wonderful. So why do you want to particularly come, like what's calling you to this one?
I really want to do it with people that maybe are similar to me, and where there's I really like the idea of staying in an eco village and being kind of a little bit more rustic and closer to nature. And I really like the vision and the layout that in your advertising.
Okay, cool. Yeah, well, from the sound of it, it sounds like you might be a perfect fit. Would you like to hear more about the experience?
Yeah, I'd love to.
Yeah, well, so because now typically on the call, most people, well, it's 7 nights, 6 days. We go snorkeling and we're gonna eat. Like, no, don't do that. You're gonna want to do that as a knee-jerk response. You go, well, I want to just tell you why I created this, because I see this kind of very differently. This isn't just about going seeing whales. We really want to make sure we do this with the right people, because we want to create an environment where we can all experience just how mind-blowingly mind heart, it's going to just blow your heart wide open. Like you, I've been dreaming of whales my whole life, and I started taking people for tours many years ago, and it was just freaking incredible, and it shifted my life. It's the first time I ever really felt fulfilled with whales. When I went out there, it just changed my life forever. And you might say something like wow right now, like say that wow. Yeah, because really what this is like coming home to divinity. We're going to cultivate these experiences of just like you get in the water and, like you've been dreaming of whales, but man, like I'm sure you've seen it in the pictures. Have you been swimming with whales? Pretend you haven't.
No, never.
Well, let me tell you, it's just like, it's so magical, there's no experience like it. This mother just comes and she just like helps you, lets you hold a baby. It's like holding a newborn from like another species, but you just feel this universal connection, and they swim by you and you just feel like you're you know the only person in the world as they look you in the eyes. And the best part of this is we're doing this together. We're going to create unforgettable bonds. You're going to be hugging other people, just having these mind-blowing experiences with other people like you who just dream of nature, love nature, they want to care for the planet. And then we're just going to like have the best food and have so much fun, and it gets so connected to nature. So yeah, that's the experience in a nutshell.
It's really good because I'm traveling on my own, so I'm nervous, about coming to a new country on my own.
Yeah. And now you just shut up. You're like, okay, well, that's the experience. And you let them ask questions. Like might have questions now. Like if you're ready to go, they'll be like, how much is it? Well, it's $6,000. Great. Sign me up.
Yeah.
Right. That's it. Okay. Well, okay, cool. Awesome. Is it 5 or 6 nights? Yeah, it's 7 nights all included. Okay, great. That's just like people just want to fill in the blanks, right? But now they know what it is. So it's like they might not even ask that, but like forget about it. So we first just get on the call, set the tone, and then just find out like, are they the right fit? And I could ask more questions like, have you been swimming with whales before? Like, you want to find out what are the must-haves, like who where's the line in the sand if you're only working with these people and not bringing in, right? So you want to know that you're going to spend 7 days with these people. You want to make sure you're going to have fun with them too.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. And I do want to know like what their experience is in the ocean. I need to know as well, like
get clearer on that list. The more clear you are, the clearer you will manifest the people who are going to come.
Yeah.
Good. Amazing.
Yeah. Mind blown.
So now knowing that, it's like looking back at like $6,000 and like that experience exists. Like, like I know what I'm trying to get at. How do you feel about it?
I feel like you just put so much value on what I'm trying to offer. Like I feel like I just went from like, yeah, offering the 5 days on the water, 6 nights, blah, 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 and that, but the first, the vision and articulating that and the experience, now I feel the value in it. You know, does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. Good.
Like now I feel where the like where it's, now I feel it's worth, in a really unattached way. If that, like I just, like it just feels a bit like kind of effortless to see like the worth of that experience.
Yeah. Good. Good. Good.
Yeah.
Now what? So what's your next step?
Oh, wow. Yeah. Wow. This feels like a pivotal moment for me in my life, actually. Like I feel like I need to go and just sit down and integrate this whole call.
Mm-hmm. So next step, what's your next step after
We
that?
just I feel like we just did so much. We just went so with like, whew. um like it feels like it was hours ago that I was crying.
It was.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, we've
Like
been
it
going for a
feels.
couple hours. Yeah.
And then my dad, it feels, yeah, wow. The next step is well, I have to, the resort I want to book just emailed me last night. So how are you feeling about, because they sent me the prices, how are you feeling about the coming to stay with us? So, now I just want to email them and just be like, great, I'm gonna just book 7 people. And I love your idea of putting together just my voice, my talking out of the video into a video of the whales too. As
Yeah.
promotion. Um,
You want to do it now?
I'm just going to start talking about it straight away with what I've got already on my social media. I'm just going to start before I've even had time to edit together another video or whatever. I'm just going to just start talking about it on there and just start to gather the momentum and the interest and
Yeah.
call people.
Good. Awesome. Well, my job here is done for now. If you need more help, let me know. We can do more.
So much gratitude. That was such a beautiful call. Thank you so much.